SEC versus Coinbase. What's really happening here? What's really going on? We're going to dive into some of the finer details in this video, guys, because by now I think a lot of people who, check into the cryptocurrency market daily have probably heard about this, right? But I want to get into some of the nitty-gritty, some of the details here in terms of what is actually happening here. What is the SEC really saying here? And what are they really charging Coinbase for? So all of that in this video. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Stay till the end because a lot of different details here. And I'm going to give you my thoughts toward the end of this video as well in terms of what I think is going to happen and how this is all going to shake out. Of course, it's just my opinion. We're all playing the guessing game right now. None of us have a crystal ball per se, right? But we're trying to stay ahead of the game and stay ahead of the curve when it comes to cryptocurrency and how things are going to be regulated here in the United States. So here's what we know. The SEC has charged Coinbase for operating as an unregistered securities exchange, broker, and clearing agency. Now, here's what's frustrating about that before we go into more details here. The SEC is charging Coinbase for these things, but there are no rules and guidelines set in place for Coinbase to abide by. So it's literally like they're kind of setting them up to fail. Like they allowed them to operate since, like this for years. And then it's like, wait a minute, now you're, doing something unlawful. There was no rule book. There was no guidelines until the SEC just created them, right? And they're going after Coinbase here. And obviously this is a day removed since they're going after Binance as well. Here's what's crazy. Coinbase and Kraken just, in the last couple of years, were said to be in good graces, right? And this was coming from the SEC, that they were the only registered, platforms and what have you. Now, all of a sudden, complete 180, right? Flip the script. We're going after you, right? It's just insane. But let's get into some of the finer details here and talk about it. So, according to the SEC's complaint, since at least 2019, Coinbase has made billions of dollars unlawfully, in their eyes, facilitating the buying and selling of crypto asset securities. The SEC alleges that Coinbase intertwines the traditional services of an exchange, broker, and clearing agency without having registered any of those functions with the commission as required by law. So say that when they were created. Say that back then and they would have registered. They say it now after crypto continues to gain steam and they haven't figured out a way to, regulate it and really make the most money they can on it. That's what's happening here, right? This is all about fear. It's all about market manipulation. And let me just say this before we continue on. It's not all doom and gloom. Like, don't watch this video and think, oh my gosh, it's all over. It's going to come to a crashing end. I don't think that's the case. It's certainly a bump in the road here. It prolongs the bear market a little bit. It keeps retail money out of crypto. It keeps people scared, right? But I don't think it's over. You can't stop this technology. It's not going to stop. And eventually the United States is going to find a way to figure it out because they're just going to continue to lose ground, okay? So I say all that to say this is not the end of the road, okay? I don't want this to be like, that video that you watch and that's it, right? I'm totally done. Of course, it's up to you, right? But the SEC alleges that since 2019, Coinbase has been engaging in an unregistered securities offering through its staking as a service program, which allows customers to earn profits from proof-of-stake mechanisms of certain blockchains and Coinbase's efforts. Now, I don't think this is necessarily a thing that exchanges should do. I get why they do it, but again, there's been no rule book on this. That's why they've been able to offer crazy APY. Here's why the government and the SEC hates this. The SEC wants to protect big banks more than they want to protect you and me. Let me say that again. The SEC wants to protect big banks more than they want to protect you and me. They should be working for us. They're really working for the big banks. And why do they not like staking? Because you could go put USDC or USDT in a lot of these exchanges still today. Now, they've reduced the APY, but you can go put, and I know people who've done this, who put $100,000 of USDT in Crypto.com during the bull run and earn 12% on your money. You can literally earn, you can't do that in a bank. That's why they don't like it. Because instead of keeping your money in a bank, you can keep it in USDT or USDC, which essentially is dollar. It's in dollars terms, and you can earn 12% on your money. Which bank are you going to find that can do that? Zero. There are none. So this hits right at home to the banking industry. That's why they don't like staking as a service. I actually agree with them on this, though. But I mean, outlined this years ago, right? Outlined this years ago, and the exchanges wouldn't have done it. But now they're just, again, ruling with an iron fist here, coming in after it continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and now they want to just invoke fear amongst everybody. That's what's happening. Now, through this staking program, Coinbase allegedly pools each type of customer's stakeable crypto assets, stakes the pool to perform blockchain transaction validation services, and provides a portion of the rewards generated from this work to its customers whose assets were part of the pool. Coinbase failed to register its offers and sales of this staking program as required by law. Again, they're making it seem like this was very out in the open. It was very easy to do. This was not, right? It was very, very gray area, right? And now they're making it seem like, oh, it was very cut, black and white. It was cut and dry. Just all you had to do was this, right? So it says, we allege that, this is coming from SEC Chair Gary Gensler, we allege that Coinbase, despite being subject to the securities laws, commingled and unlawfully offered exchange, broker, dealer, and clearinghouse functions. In other parts of our securities markets, these functions are separate. Coinbase's alleged failures deprive investors of critical protections, including rule books that prevent fraud and manipulation, proper disclosure, safeguards against conflicts of interest, and routine inspection by the SEC. So that's what we've got. It's frustrating, man, to say the least, as the SEC, they'll bail out banks, and then, for them doing, basically not practicing good business, right? We've had how many banks go under this year, but they'll bail them out and then just go after these guys with no clear guidelines. It's frustrating, but I don't think it's the end of the road. Listen, there's going to be better days ahead. This is a rough one. It's a rough week here to start the week. We're back-to-back days here to start June that is just brutal. And, we've got a big month here, the FOMC meeting coming up just over a week from now. We're going to hear from the Feds. We're going to hear from Jerome Powell, probably another 25 basis point move on the table, right? So we're not out of the woods yet. And this bear market's going to be prolonged, but it's not the end of the road. It's not the end of everything, right? As I always like to kind of say, it's never as good as it seems, and it's never as bad as it seems, right? Especially when you're reading things from the media, because anytime you do that, it's sensationalized. They want to invoke some type of emotion, right? And it's best as an investor. The best investors are able to stay even keel. They're able to stay kind of somewhere in the middle, right? See it for what it is, but don't overreact. And that's where I'm at right now. We'll be keeping tabs on this. It's a big story, and let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. We'll see you. Bye.